Welcome back to the Spirit of West Texas podcast studio. Texas Tech head football coach Joey and his lovely wife, Debbie McGuire, and First United Bank CEO, Mark Bain.
Hey, hi. Thanks for having us.
It's an honor to have you all back in the First United Bank Spirit of West Texas podcast studio to talk about a cause that's incredibly meaningful for not only the three of you, I know, but to thousands of families across West Texas. And that's the advancement of healthcare for children in our region through your ongoing support of Covenant Children's, the only licensed children's hospital in the region. How about that?
It's pretty incredible.
Yeah, good cause.
Good stuff.
So you've been showing up for Covenant Children's Weekend of Giving for 4 years now. Coach, what is it that keeps bringing you back?
Just the importance that this hospital has for not just Lubbock, Texas, but, all of West Texas. And then, what people don't understand, how you reach into New Mexico also. And like you said, I mean, it's the one hospital in this area that's qualified to take care of our kids. And so, I've been a coach for 32 years now, and I've always been about my players. And I just think, whenever you want to take care of the youth, what better way to do it than support Covenant and what they do and everything they do for West Texas.
Anything to add?
Well, I mean, Covenant Children's, the service area aligns with the bank's service area, and so we're serving, a lot of the great families and great communities out here in West Texas, and really one of the reasons I keep coming back because I've been inspired by the McGuires and their leadership of this event. I mean, they have taken it from a little and nothing and worked really, really, really hard to build this event into what I believe is the premier fundraising event in the entire city of Lubbock and throughout West Texas.
I agree.
So for all of you, I know that serving your community is a cornerstone of how you lead your teams on the field for you, Coach, and the office for you, Mark, and certainly Debbie for you and your family. Was there a moment where this event stopped being just another community event that you were involved in? Because I know that you're all involved in a lot. But it became something that means something to you on a more deeply personal level.
Well, I think the first year that we started doing this, I didn't know that much about what we were getting into. I wasn't that involved, and it was the Storytellers event that was, on the rooftop. And I knew that day, I was like, if they ask me to do it again, I am going to do more, give more. It's rewarding when you see you're helping and impacting children's lives.
I remember that night because remember at one point they had us all look over from the roof and you could see Covenant Children's from where we were. It was beautiful. It was incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible moment. Coach, you know what it looks like to fight for something on the field and refuse to quit. When you think about the children and families at Covenant Children's, what do you see?
Just the incredible spirit, the servants that we have in that hospital, the doctors, the nurses, all the volunteers, what they do, and then just the need. I grew up in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and you take some of the care for granted whenever you talk about some of the hospitals in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. You just, you're so accessible. And then you come out to West Texas and knowing that we have that we have every bit as good, if not better, of a hospital for our children in Covenants. And so I don't take that for granted. I think that it's so incredible, but the spirit they have to serve this community in West Texas.
You're so right. As parents, we're all parents. We all have kids sitting at this table. It's so reassuring to know that Covenant is available. Being the only licensed children's hospital between Albuquerque, New Mexico, and the Metroplex, we're so fortunate to have Covenant here to help care for our families. Mark, what those children in the hospital, what they're going through, how does that compare to anything that you've ever seen in business throughout your career?
Well, it really doesn't compare. There is no comparison. What those kids are going through and the fight and the battle that a lot of them are up against. I mean, I face a lot of challenges in my daily life and trying to run a business, and Coach does as well, but there's really no comparison. I want to do anything and everything that I can to help them. I've been advocating for good, healthy outcomes for children for the last 20 years, and there's not a better organization to align yourselves with than Covenant Children's Hospital.
Yeah, when you go in there and like when I've gone and visited, the courage with these little kids, or you see these little tiny babies fighting these big battles, and it puts things every day into perspective, and that what we're trying to do this weekend matters.
Yeah.
Debbie, I know you spend a lot of time at the Children's Hospital. It's not just showing up at Weekend of Giving. It's showing up regularly throughout the year to take care of those kids and love on those families. So thank you for everything that you do. I know that you've all had countless opportunities to support causes in our community. There's so many good causes out there. Not one of the three of you had to say yes to supporting Covenant Children's Weekend of Giving. So why did you? Coach?
Well, this is
Because I told him to.
no, this is
Good enough reason.
I mean, just one. It's always amazes me that Debbie and I only had 2 kids, because we absolutely love kids. You know, if you come to our practices and you see all the little kids running around, and you know, I'm Uncle JoJo, and Mark has a new grandkid. He's G-Ray, but Banks is going to be calling me Uncle JoJo for a long time. So I love kids. I love their spirit and their resilience, and you know, I just think it's there's different things you get involved in. Debbie, it kind of becomes a little bit of a joke because we are involved in a lot of stuff. The Boys and Girls Club's absolutely incredible to be behind them and different things that we do. But whenever it comes to this and Covenant, kind of our saying it's for the kids.
For the kids.
And whenever you say it's for the kids, man, I just know that Debbie's pocketbook opens up a little bit more, and we can get a little bit more out of her and me for sure, because it is for the kids. And I mean, what's more important? Like, if you really think about that's our future, that's everything that's going to be right in this world, and to be able to help the kids and be behind this movement, is so important to Debbie and I.
It's hard to say no. You know, once you've experienced one, the families, the children, the stories, they stay with you. Even when I've gone up there, to visit or pass out cookies or, whatever, you leave there wanting to do more.
Debbie, you've talked a lot. I mean, from day one, you've talked about how grateful and how proud you are to be living in West Texas and be a part of this community. What does it mean to you to be a part of the Lubbock community in the West Texas region, and why does showing up for causes here matter?
Well, we do love Lubbock. And this is just one small way that we can help give back. I mean, there's so much need for, like, we're focusing this Fund the Mission, the storytellers, on the emergency department, and that's the first place people go in a time of crisis, and it's hard to not get behind that. And it's, I think, what we're doing this whole weekend, our goal to do, and we have big goals this year, don't we, Mark?
Yes, we do.
It makes everything that you're doing very meaningful.
Mark, you mentioned earlier that Covenant's footprint aligns with that of First United Banks, and we serve the same families in this West Texas region. What does it mean to you to show up for West Texas and West Texas families at this event?
Well, first of all, this community and this region, they mean everything to me. I love West Texas, and I think maybe the only 2 people that love West Texas more so than I are sitting across from me right now. But we're a community bank, and, it's incumbent upon us to give back to the community and to help make our community stronger. And what better way to do that than to support Covenant Children's, because, like Coach said, it's all about the kids. I mean, they are our future, and we've got to do everything in our that we possibly can to achieve healthy outcomes for each one of those kids that goes through there. And so, I love this. I love this area, and I'm just really proud to be partnering with Covenant Children's and the Covenant Foundation to be a part of it.
All of the money raised at Weekend of Giving and at Storytellers, and again on Monday with the golf tournament, Chip In for Children, all of that money is going towards Covenant Children's Emergency Center, which is an incredible cause. Debbie, as a mom, what is tonight really about for you?
That's the first place you go in a crisis, is the emergency room. So you want to make sure that those families are walking in there with the best care, the best team, the best doctors, the best equipment. And it's what we're doing tonight makes a difference. I mean, Joey and I are up in our commitment this year. We're going to encourage others to lean in and do the same and have a great time. The Storytellers Night is so much fun. We're going to have a blast doing it. I'm going to encourage others to lean in. And I mean, just it's what everybody is doing is so meaningful.
Mark, what does this night mean for the bank?
Well, it's like I said earlier, it's just an opportunity for us to get to live out our founding principle of generosity and community. And so, that's what we're all about. And it means a lot to us because this so truly aligns with things that are important to the bank and that are important to me personally. We're talking about the growth of this event, and I would be remiss if I didn't say that the leadership of the McGuires has just been incredible on this deal. They've given a lot of their personal time, their resources. They've made themselves available to make a lot of great auction packages. And they get the right people in the room. And, they work tirelessly year-round to make this a successful event.
So, team, if somebody is sitting in the room tonight and they are still on the fence about giving, what would you want them to hear from you?
I think I'd probably tell them, to think about the worst moment that could ever happen. And that's when what we're doing, I'm going to cry.
Me too. I can't look at you.
When that's what we do, what we're trying to do matters the most, because nobody ever plans to go into the emergency room, and especially with your child. And so everything that we are working for this weekend is going towards that.
It's a statement we live by in our building is how lucky are we, and now you're going to make me cry. So whenever I think about that statement of how lucky are we, like Debbie said, you're going into a moment that you feel just so hopeless, and you feel like that you can do nothing. And what's really cool is this is when you get to step up and do something. Because at the end of all of this, what we're hoping is when they come out of the emergency room that they feel, man, how lucky are we that we got to walk into a emergency room that was staffed at a high level, that had every piece of equipment at a high level, that the treatment that my son or daughter received was just first class, world class. And that's what Covenant is. They are. And so I look at it like that, like how lucky are we in the moments that you do feel hopeless, that you have people around you that are ready and available. And so I look at it like that, like if you can give and you've been blessed and you've been fortunate to have great things happen in your life, or you're, it's just in a really good spot, just realize what you're giving to tonight. I mean, there's very few things that you can give to that are better than what we're doing tonight, and that's because you're doing it for the kids.
Simply put, what happens, Mark, if we don't show up for these kids tonight?
Well, we don't have an option. I mean, we have to show up for these kids. I mean, it is incumbent upon all of us as members of this community and as members of the business community that we've got to give back, and we've got to get behind a cause that I know resonates with all of us.
Yeah.
So we're sitting here in the Spirit of West Texas podcast studio at First United Bank, and on this podcast, we talk to people about their big dreams. So what is your big dream for the advancement of healthcare for children in the West Texas region?
I think for me, and I know they're doing this, and it's absolutely amazing. I learn something every time I walk into that hospital of just the level of care that these kids get, the experts, like the best of the best. And so, with this tonight and this weekend, I mean, we could just push that to a whole nother level, that this is already a world-class hospital, but we're always striving to be better, and this weekend helps us be better.
I think for my big dream is like every resource that they would possibly need for those children, that we have it available for them. Because again, we're the only our region's only dedicated pediatric emergency center. I wanted to make sure I said it right. So people are coming in, like Joey said earlier, from all over the place, and we need to be able to have every single thing that they will need to help that child.
Best possible outcomes for the kids. That's it in a nutshell. And they answered it much better than I did, but that's what my dream is. Best possible outcomes for all kids every time they walk in that door.
So at First United Bank, our founder, Ray M. Bain, said, "The true spirit of West Texas lies in the hearts of its people." Joey, Debbie, and Mark, your heart for serving families in West Texas through your support of Covenant Children's Weekend of Giving is a true reflection of the spirit of West Texas. Thank you all so much for your time today, and thank you so much for everything that you're doing to help support children in our region.
You
Thank
bet.
you.
We're going to have a fun weekend, a fun night.